Actress Eleanor Tomlinson, Power, Passion, and the Girl Who Fired Up Poldark. Our Sunday evening screens are sizzling thanks to actress Eleanor Tomlinson, who beat a string of hopefuls to win the coveted role of Demelza. She tells Daphne Lockyer how delving into painful memories from her past helped her get into character. Although Eleanor Tomlinson describes her natural hair color as a kind of muddy blonde, she really does make the most convincing redhead. Just as well, considering that she's starring in Poldark, one of the TV events of 2015, playing Demelza, a character who would score 10 on the Richter scale of iconic Titian-haired heroines. "It's all down to dye and hair extensions," she says. "But it confuses people. They think it's the hair color I was born with." As the second part of the BBC's adaptation of Winston Graham's best-selling novels airs tonight, Eleanor hopes the viewers will conclude that she was born to play Demelza, although, of course, she has the difficult task of following another actress who has been synonymous with the role since the groundbreaking 1970s version. At that time, Angharad Rees, who played Demelza, and Robin Ellis, who was a dashing Captain Poldark, became household names, while the show itself, in those pre-player days, was considered such unmissable TV that churches had to change the times of their evening services or risk empty pews. "I wasn't even born at the time," says 22-year-old Eleanor, "but I do remember hearing my parents talk about how brilliant Poldark was when I was growing up, and that made me want to try for the role even more." The story is set against the backdrop of a rugged and dramatically beautiful 18th-century Cornwall and centers on the life and loves of Poldark, a dashing hero, played this time around by the extravagantly good-looking Irish actor Aidan Turner, who returns from fighting in the American Revolution to discover his house in disrepair, his tin mines about to be sold to the ruthless local baron, and his former fiancée now engaged to his cousin Francis. It's no surprise, then, when he takes comfort in the milk-white bosom of Demelza, the feisty redhead from the wrong side of the tracks who arrives in his household as a housemaid and ends up as his wife. No wonder either that there was quite a queue of hopefuls to play her in the 2015 remake. Just as well, then, that Eleanor is a fighter. Blame or thank her childhood experiences at the hands of bullies when she was a pupil at Beverley High School, an all-girls comprehensive in her native East Yorkshire. From the age of 11, she combined her schooling with stints on various film sets, and found herself rubbing shoulders with Hollywood A-listers such as Edward Norton. In the 2006 movie The Illusionist, Eleanor played the teenage version of the main heroine, Sophie von Teschen. "Working wasn't the problem, I loved that bit. But when I went back to school I found I was a square peg in a round hole and I was bullied a lot because of it. I was told I'd got too big for my boots, whereas, in fact, I was incredibly shy. I was accused of being too posh because during stints away from home any trace of a Yorkshire accent would fade away. The bullying could take the weirdest forms. For example, people would come up to me and shout the name of the project I happened to have been working on and then just walk away. It's incredible how horrible girls can be. It was psychological warfare and it was really hard to cope with." Eleanor has been able to use her feelings of being both an outsider and survivor to play Demelza. "I do think that she has a fear of not fitting in, which I can sympathize with. She marries Poldark, a man above her class, and while she'll always remains true to her roots and doesn't apologize for who she is or where she comes from, I think she has a heartbreaking desire to be accepted by the people who seem to despise her, but believes she never will be."